Hi folks, and welcome to another Sunday Morning Samoflange. I'm Matt, and I'm by myself again. I did promise Mikey would be back, but it is my fault that Mikey is not here. Not Mikey's fault at all. What happened was, I explained this on my other podcast, Prince of the Universe, but I got too busy. I am barely getting this out in time. Barely. But I guess got too busy, and this week has been just insane with all the stuff I've had to do. My kids were on spring break this week, so it was just a big mess. But happy Easter, everyone. And now that I'm thinking about it, I should have done top 5 Easter eggs in movies. Dang it! Why didn't I think of that? Dang it. Wow. Missed opportunities. That's what it's all about, boys and girls. Missed opportunities. I just now thought about this. But anyway, here we are. We're taking one. Mikey, I'm so sorry. I'm taking one of our top 5 ideas. It was top 5 things that used to be better. This is one that Mikey wanted, but I had to use something because I couldn't think of anything else right now, and I wanted to use this one. I'm saving another one, and I may create a second one. And in fact, now that I think about it, I think we did top 5 Easter eggs years ago on Saturday Morning Samoflange. I have to go back and look, but that seems kind of, because now that I'm thinking of some of my favorite Easter eggs, I think I've talked about these before. And we may have done cameos. That's what I'm thinking about. But anyway, Easter eggs. That'd have been great. No, my top 5 today is things that used to be better. You know, places, people, places, things. What used to be better? That's what we're going to talk about. And my battery here is now dying. So 1 second. Get this battery died. I didn't know the battery was going to go out by that. All right, so here we go. Oh, it wasn't even turned on. Turn on your power, Matt. That's what you need. All right, so talking about things that used to be better. What am I talking about? Well, I'll talk about stores, restaurants, what have you. They just used to be better at one time, and they're not anymore. That's what we're going to talk about today. Do I have these in? Yes, I do. I did mark them. Okay, so and how much crossover would Mikey and I have had? I don't know. It would have been interesting. I have a feeling we had maybe one crossover, maybe. I don't know, but who knows? So I'm going to be very general with all these. I think most of these people would understand. Well, you may not know one of them, but one of them for sure you won't know, or you may know it by your own. But your mall. That's number 5. Our mall, Pecanland Mall. It used to be great, and this is every mall, right? Every mall. Well, I don't know, but about your mall, but every mall used to be much better. The mall heydays. On Prince of the Universe, Bruce, it was Wes and I that discussed this, but malls have kind of fallen on hard times. They're not the mecca shopping place that they used to be. Now it's outlets. Outlets are in. Malls are out. Malls are their own worst enemy. They got really haughty. They refused to, when they were losing ground, they refused to come down in their price, thereby driving more people away from them and moving them to other places. So it's really sad how malls have come down. And for me, it's just like the mall is a ghost town now. You go on a Saturday, there's no one there. In the summer, there's no one there. It used to be where the parking lot was full on Saturdays. It'd always be super crowded. But my wife and I, she's drugged me there every once in a while on a Saturday, and it's just dead. It's like a Thursday night or Tuesday night or whatever. I'm like, whoa. It's because no one goes to the mall anymore. Even the movie theater closed down last year, so the movie theater even gave up. And so the mall's just one step away from just falling completely apart. And I wish they would just lower their costs, try to get people in the doors, try to get more stores in there. I think that's what they need to do. Get the mom and pop shops in there. Just come down on your price. Do whatever you can to fill up your place and make it look lively. But they refuse to. I hear rent's still bad. More people closing left and right. They still think they're in their big heydays, and they're not. They're in their dying days is where they're at. And Prince of the Universe, about a year ago, I think Wes and I gave our ideas on how to improve them all. But in my opinion, we're like rural areas have malls. Jackson, Mississippi has 0 malls now. All their malls closed. This has been a couple of years now, about 5 years now they've been closed. So they don't even have a mall anymore. We hardly have anything that constitutes as a mall. But that's because we're just small town. And even then, I think that mall is just dying just one, it's just one thing after the next. Nothing's going to bring it back at this point. I think it's just a foregone conclusion that the malls are going to be gone. So nothing you can do about me number 5. But number 4, now the rest of these everyone knows about. You may not agree with me, but you know these places here. Number 4 is Popeyes. This is one of 2 eateries, I guess you could say, that I think have declined over the years. Popeyes at one time would have been my number 1 place to get chicken. Number one. Their spicy chicken, I remember it being good. I remember their sides being good. And then something happened, and I don't know when it happened. It's been maybe 15 years ago it happened, But I remember my wife, when we got married, she loved Popeyes, and that's when I started noticing, wow, Popeyes is really crap. I switched back over to Church's chicken, as fast food chicken goes. At Church's, I guess, would be Chick-fil-A, but you know what I'm talking about, classic fried chicken in a bucket. Church's is usually the one I go to. It's so weird. My nephew and I laugh, but we have a KFC here. We never see anyone in the KFC. There's never anyone in the KFC drive-thru or in their restaurant. We don't know how that KFC stays in business. A funny thing, it's on Restaurant Row. Like, there's tons of restaurants. It's on the hottest strip of restaurants you could have. Like, every other fast food place is always popping. But then there's no one ever at KFC. If you can find a car at KFC that isn't an employee's car, you're doing well. That's how pitiful it is. But Popeyes gets a lot of love still. Popeyes is still busy, but I think their sides are just nasty. We've stopped going completely. I can't remember when we actually stopped. It was before the girls were born. And my wife may have been pregnant at the time, so maybe it was 5 years ago. But it was so bad. The chicken, everything. I said, Megan, I can't do this anymore. This is awful. She went, yeah, this does not taste good at all. And we have not had Popeyes since. I think I maybe tried their sandwich back in the day, their chicken sandwich. It was okay. It was fine, but that was about it. I'm done with Popeyes. Popeyes used to be a really good place. When we got Popeyes when I was a kid, I was exciting. I remember my parents got the spicy chicken. We got the regular. I ate spicy, and it burned my little mouth. But now, I used to love it. Used to love all their sides, and now just everything is just garbage across the board. And it's not just my Popeyes either. It's Popeyes everywhere around the areas of where I've been before, in my town and in other towns. I've seen the quality just go to crap. So, in my opinion, not really worth it anymore. All right, so that's number 4. Numero 3. Let me bring it up here. Numero 3 is one that I probably think if Mikey would have had one on here, we would have had the same one. This would have been our one crossover. And I think everyone would agree with this one, but it's Walmart. Walmart, when it became Super Walmart, it stopped being super. The customer service is nil now. It's just garbage. It's an awful place. Back in the day, old school Walmart used to be the bomb.com. You'd go there, good prices. Everyone was nice to you. Everyone talked to you. If anyone remembers old Walmart, you may remember this, but you'd be checking out for one cashier, and the cashier behind that other one, you were in front of one and behind another, she would turn around to you and say, hello. Like, she'd make sure to say hello to you too, even though she wasn't checking you out. And so would your cashier. They'd turn around to the person behind them and greet them too. They greeted everyone. It was like the friendliest place in the world. And back in the day, they had the little 1-hour Photoshop people in there, and you could drop off your film, and you could play Nintendo, and your parents would either sit you in front of the ever-going, the VHS tape of some movie playing. For us, it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatnot. They'd be playing one movie on repeat, and you just watch the movie while you just stood there and watched the movie while your mom went shopping. That's weird to think, but they just leave us in an area, and then they'd go shop. Again, it was the 80s. It was the 90s even. Early 90s they were doing this. But then, of course, they had a Nintendo, just a regular NES, up there that everyone took turns playing. And me and my brother still marvel about this today. But you used to wait in line. And when some kid died, he'd pass the controller to the next person in line. And then he'd get back in line. And it was done without adults. Everyone knew that when you died, you passed the controller to the next person behind you. It was a common courtesy. We all did. Do you think any kid today would live by that? Heck no. Heck no, they would not. They would never do such a thing. And I find it funny that back in the day, that actually existed. That was actually a thing that you used to wait in line with everyone else and politely give it up. These days, screw it. That kid would be like, no, I was here first. I can stay as long as I want. They wouldn't share with the other kids, even if they were related to them and knew them. They probably wouldn't share. And so it's wild that even stuff like that existed back in the day, behavior like that existed. But it was a different time back then. It was a different time back then, and I think that was why it happened. But to be fair, it was just really fun. It was like I said again, a different age, a different time. But Walmart back then was just awesome. It was just awesome. It was nice, quaint. I remember when we got our Super Walmart, our Super Kmart came before we got the Walmart. Super Kmart was trying to make a last-ditch effort to save themselves from the Walmart takeover, which didn't happen. When I read about Kmart just recently, we only have, if I'm right, we only have 2 Kmarts left in the U.S. But do you know where Kmarts are everywhere? Benjamin told me this. They're in Australia. Kmart moved their headquarters to Australia because they're huge in Australia. But they're not. They've given up all except for 2 of their stores, I believe, in the U.S. now. Because a lot of them, like 12, 14 more just got shuttered, and now there's only 2 left or something like that. But Kmart is a dead brand. It's a dead brand here. But back then, they were still trying to give one last go fight against Walmart. They opened up their Super Kmart 24/7, and I remember thinking, whoa, Kmart may beat Walmart. Because Walmart didn't have their Super Walmarts here yet. And it was like Super K, they believed in us. There was a big K across the street. It closed to open up for Super K. And I remember one of my friends worked at Super K, and I got some DVDs for really cheap. he scanned something else instead of it. It's probably illegal, but it doesn't matter. They're not around anymore. But he would scan different items and then put the DVDs in the bag. And he was slick because his supervisor was watching. And he still, Ruben, master manipulator with his hands, just did it right in front of because I was like, oh, dang it, I'm going to have to pay $20 a piece for these DVDs. Because I bought like a couple. I was like, dang it. But I knew I wasn't going to be mad at him because I saw his supervisor was right there. And somehow, his name was Ruben. Ruben somehow magically moved his arms, scanned a different item, and threw the DVD in the bag, and rubbed it on the little thing so it wouldn't go off. And somehow, right in front of the supervisor just wasn't paying attention, I guess, or Ruben was really that good with sleight of hand, got away with it, and I got some cheap. I remember it was Fight Club, X-Men, and maybe X-Men 2. So it was going to cost me like 60-something bucks. They were like $20 a piece back then. And I was like, dang it, I'm going to have to pay $60. But then I only got to pay like $7 or something. I mean, it's really cheap. $5 each or something. And that the price you would pay for them now. But I remember getting them super cheap and like, yes, you are the man. He was the man for doing that. But Super Kmart, like I said, they had an in with. I felt they had an in with the business. They were ahead of the game of Walmart. Oh man, now Super K's here. We won't need a Super Walmart. The moment Super Walmart went up, there was a huge exodus. Super Kmart closed. Their days were numbered. The moment Super Walmart opened, everyone went to Walmart. Everyone. It was just a whole thing. I was like, wow. After all the sales, the big hubbub, opening first, getting the clientele in the door, showing them these amazing... There was like a full... Little Caesars had closed at that point. They weren't reimagined back then. It was old school Little Caesars had closed up here. And they had an old school Little Caesars in their Super Kmart. It was the only place we could get those good big deep dish square pizzas. Back before they reinvented themselves as a bargain-based pizza place. And I remember thinking, oh, wow, Little Caesars, because all of them had closed around here. And so we could still eat Little Caesars there. I mean, honestly, Super K was just a fun place. It was a great place. But even I got sucked into the Super Walmart because it was brand new and everything. But Super Walmart took over, and Super Kmart became a ghost town instantly. It was across the highway. These are on competing highways. And it's gone. And today, that Super Kmart is now, 4 other stores? It's like an Academy Sports, a Harbor Freight, a restaurant, and a gym, a Planet Fitness gym. That's what they chopped up that Super Kmart into 4 different stores. It was so big. But they finally booked the whole real estate thing. And Super Walmart took off. And then we were loving Super Walmart because they were 24/7. Now they are not. If you have one, please let me know. Ours are not. They close at 10. Well, ours is the only one that closes at 11. The other ones close at 10. But ours is open till 11. But they don't do 24/7 anymore, which is sad because I'll be honest, midnight and everything, when no one was there, that's when I went. I loved the 24-hour. In fact, Super Kmart could come back, do those 24-hour things. I think they'd win. I think Super Kmart, if they wanted to, make a run for it. They won't. They don't have the capital, I don't think. But if they wanted to, they probably could give Walmart a run for their money if they just would be nice to the customer and open up 24/7. But that customer service is the key because Super Walmart, even neighborhood Walmart, which is supposed to be a little bit more friendlier grocery store, no, man, no one cares about you. I friggin' hate that online shopping thing because everyone's pushing employees. When you find them, all they are is pushing around carts of those online orders, and they don't give a nickel damn about you. They don't care about you at all. They do not care about you at all. You're the least important person. If they're blocking your way, they do not care. If you need to get something off the shelf, F you. I'm got to fill these orders. They don't even look at you. They don't acknowledge you. You're standing there, and they're just slowly getting everything because they want to get their stuff before you get yours. And they block aisles and everything. Like there was so many trays down one aisle, no one could go down it because all the Walmart employees were shopping on it, and they didn't care about us. I mean, it's just how detached and unhuman can you be? We say this a lot, but Sam Walton would be ashamed, embarrassed by the way of how they've become, and it is the worst place in the world. But guess what, folks? I still go. Why? Because they got everything, and they're still cheaper. Brookshire's is the other place. I like going there, but I found out shopping with my points does nothing because when you cash them in, do you know what you get? You get 5% off your bill when you get up to whatever points. 5%? That's all? That doesn't even cover tax here. We get half the tax for our rewards, for Brookshire's rewards. And sometimes Brookshire's has good deals and everything. And Super One does too. And I do like shopping there. And they do got better service, leaps and bounds. But, we found out after a while, I compared and contrast prices. And I'm sorry, but I save $7 to $15 every time I go to Walmart, buying the same exact stuff. Even with my little loyalty card, I'm still saving, $10, $15 more at Walmart. So sadly, we're back at Walmart again, where there's no good service, right? It's kind of funny because I keep looking for some of these bargain outlets like Family Dollar, Dollar General. They're not good deals. Big Lots. I really wanted to love Big Lots. Me and my wife were trying to support Big Lots and love Big Lots, but then I realized, no, Big Lots stuff is not cheap. Walmart beats you out. How can no one beat out Walmart? How has no one been able to topple this giant? Few people have better deals than Walmart at times, but overall, you can't beat Walmart. Can't beat them. Now, Walmart has even pulled back on a lot of their stock, Super Walmart. They don't have half the things they used to have at a Super Walmart even 5 years ago. Stuff I could find all the time, I cannot get anymore. We have fluorescent lights in our house. And so I remember they went out in the kitchen. I went and bought some at Walmart. That was 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago. This year, some more lights went out. I went to go change them out, went to go get more fluorescent lights. Walmart doesn't carry them anymore. Not the size I need. I had to go to Home Depot and get them. Crap. Home Depot, which closes at 9, is on the other side of other side of town. So total garbage. But, Walmart, though, their service is garbage now. It's not even a shadow of what it used to be. And it definitely used to be a lot better back in the day. Okay, big one there, but had a lot to say about Walmart. I think I might have a lot to say about all these. But anyway, my number 2 is, wait for it, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is not Dollar Tree anymore. They're a $1.25 tree or $3 tree or $5 tree. And now I just heard they're going to go up to $7 now. Why don't you just go ahead and call yourself Dollar General? Because they're owned by Dollar General and Family Dollar, and that's really all they are. And there's going to be in fact, our one here in town, I don't go to it anymore. Because now they sell Red Bull. They sell Red Bull there at full price. You can get a Red Bull anywhere for $3.50. You can get it for cheaper at gas stations, because they always got the deals at gas stations. Not here. They sell it for full price. In fact, a lot of their stuff, the $1.25 stuff's going away. It's getting cheaper. Off name brands. There's really nothing to get at. Every once in a while you could get a few things at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree used to be awesome way back in the day. There's tons of great stuff you could get for $1. And even back in the day, even like 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, you can still find some decent things at Dollar Tree. We'd find some cheap looking tinsel, for our tree and fun little ornaments and stuff like that. But now everything is just super cheap garbage. There really is nothing. Any of the stuff you're like, oh, this looks a little nice for $1. No, that's the $3 section. It's not. That used to be the dollar section, buddy, but now it's $3 for the halfway decent stuff. But there's just really nothing nice anymore. And my wife even used to get signs and decor, seasonal decor there because there's some decent looking stuff for $1. But now, like I said, unless I'm picking up some snacks, a cheap snack, that's really the only reason I'm going. If we go by the movie theater, we go by there first to get a little $1.25 candy. But now, to be honest, you can get the candy at Walmart for $1.24. It's like they knew they could beat Dollar Tree now, so they beat it by 1 penny. So it'd be cheaper actually to go to Walmart now than Dollar Tree. So Dollar Tree used to be a place that was fun to shop. I'd go there all the time. I could buy a little toy for the girls. They'd get a little toy. But now there's nothing but crap there. Every once in a while, they'll get their little $1. And we'll go ahead and let them shop and buy something. But there's nothing but just cheap, ultra cheap plastic garbage. There's really nothing worth getting at that Dollar Tree anymore. I'd rather just take them to a nicer place like Ollie's, which is a bargain discount place. But I'd rather just buy them something there. I'd rather get them something there than anywhere else. But Dollar Tree is basically gone out of. It used to be something I'd always stop at every week. Get me a little snack. Because at work I'd stop by, get a snack at Dollar Tree. Now, nah, hardly ever do I go to Dollar Tree. Not that much. And honestly, if it's not for a snack, I don't go at all. I don't go at all. So Dollar Tree, my number 2. Finally, my number 1. My number 1, if anyone remembers this, is Chuck E. Cheese. My other eatery / entertainment place, Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid. Boy, is that place, and ours has, but I think all of them have gone downhill. And I know why, because back in the day, they used to be great. I love the animatronic shows. They don't have them anymore. We used to have one animatronic they finally dismantled it, took it down. It was looking shoddy too. But every once in a while it would animate and talk right when that place opened. And even up to a few years ago it used to do that. Then it just stopped talking. Then it was just probably broken. Then now they finally dismantled the whole thing. And that's sad. That's sad that era of animatronics is over. Now they just have a TV playing little Muppets on there of Chuck E. Cheese and Friends. It's not very good. It's not very clever. It's not a very smart cartoon. It could be smart. Be written a little bit better so parents could enjoy it too. But it's really just a sham. And all it is just a cheap carnival festival. It's getting the cheap tokens to buy the cheap toys. And you have to pay tons of money to play some doofus games or ride little stupid rides that don't give you tickets. My kids still love it. I'm trying to wean them off of it because I don't like Chuck E. Cheese. I stopped liking Chuck E. Cheese back during the pandemic. You could eat at your table, but the moment you stood up, they say, sir, you need to put on a mask. I stood up. I did not have my mask on when I stood up. I was like, it didn't bother you when I was eating effing pizza. So I just would walk around with the sip drink and sip on it with my mask down. Stupidest thing ever. And by the way, there's also 0 people in the restaurant when this lady came out from behind the kitchen because they weren't anywhere on the floor, but she saw me walk around the floor and they came out and screamed at me about putting on my mask. There was no one else in the restaurant. So since then, I think we've only been once. That's because someone, I can't remember, the girls really wanted to go for, I can't remember their birthday or one of their Christmas presents. But I told my wife, I never want to go back. I think it's just cheap carnival stuff. It used to be fun animatronic shows. It was magical. Yeah, it seems dated probably now. But they also used to have a playground. They used to have a fun little playground with slides. A ball pit. The ball pit was the best. I'd play in the ball pit all day. Why can't they do a ball pit? Because that's free. We don't going to give free. We got juice them for everything. The pizza's overpriced. Everything's overpriced. But I'll pay for overpriced pizza if you at least have this big jungle gym. Something like Walmart. I mean, not Walmart. McDonald's. The McDonald's around the corner from us. I will go there all the time. First off, honestly, it's the nicest McDonald's ever. the people are sincerely nice and cheerful there and very helpful. They've been very sweet to my girls every time I've been. I'm probably going to go, to tell you this, I'm probably going to go, by the time this podcast is over, I'll probably have taken my girls already. They're already this week because I am taking them for a day out, their last day of spring break. Before they go back to school, I'm taking them to McDonald's probably. I don't mind going there. They have a giant playground with slides, little things they can climb around, and that's great. That's what we want as parents. That's what we want. Stuff like that. No one really has one like that. Sonic has an outdoor one, but if it rains, which it has earlier this week, it came down in buckets 2 days ago, which means there's still going to be puddles everywhere. So I can't take them to that one, even though that one's just an awesome one. That's like one of the best playgrounds ever. It's like for adults even. It's super high. But the slides are just super high that you can go. Yeah, it's a towering playground. Super cool. But the McDonald's one is fun too, and the girls love playing in it and everything. And when there's other kids, it makes it even more fun. And this is spring break for everyone, so I'm sure more kids will probably be around. And anyway, so we're going there, and I love playing it because we love playgrounds. If Chuck E. Cheese just had a ball pit with an Uber playground, I would go. I would go all the time, buy them a few tokens for games, buy their super expensive pizza. My girls just like cheese pizza anyway. But buy a super stupid expensive overpriced pizza, buy some tokens, just to have them play in the ball pit and have fun playing in the jungle gym all the time. They still come out every once in a while with Chuck E. Cheese in the suit. That's fine too. But they could just be a little bit more animated and care a little bit more. Chuck E. Cheese is a dying brand. It's a dying company. It's a dying idea. They need to totally reinvent themselves. Get away from the video. They've gotten away from the video games. But get away from the cheap. Don't make yourself a cheap carny game. Step up your game. Give a little bit more prizes. Do something a little bit different. And for God's sake, bring back a jungle gym. Bring back a jungle gym. You don't have to bring back the animatronics. I'm sure they'd be too expensive. Bring back a fun jungle gym with a huge ball pit. Just make it just bonkers for kids, or the little foam, since you can't get the little plastic balls anymore. They dent up a lot. Get the little foam things. Those are fun too. Now that I'm thinking about it, may take my girls there too. I don't know. Maybe go to a trampoline place. But take them to someplace fun. One of my old school Chuck E. Cheese places used to have a trampoline place. They used to have a little trampoline area you could just bounce in, now that I think about it. We used to have that too. It was the big ball pit and then a trampoline place next to it. And they need to have those, or the little, the blow up, little places, blow up houses and stuff like that, bouncy houses. They should have that kind of stuff. That's how they could be so better. Yeah, I'll never be CEO of any of these companies, but I could definitely give them some pointer. I'd love to turn around something like a Chuck E. Cheese. I think it has potential still, but it is a shadow, less than a shadow again. It pales in comparison to what they used to be back in the day. Now, of course, by the way, if anyone knows, I'm a big Showbiz Pizza fan. That was the one that I loved the most because it was Billy Bob and all those people. You can Rock-afire Explosion. If you remember Showbiz Pizza, honestly, if you don't know the history of this, Showbiz Pizza bought out Chuck E. Cheese, but they didn't own their animatronics, their characters, like Chuck E. Cheese did. They tried to buy them from the owner. They said, "Hey, we want to buy the Rock-afire Explosion," and Billy Bob, he said, "No. You will still pay me for these." And he thought Showbiz isn't going to change because this is what made them popular. And they went, "Well, screw you. We'll go with the cheaper option and keep the animatronics and the characters that we bought." Chuck E. Cheese. So they're still called on their website. You can check at the bottom. It still says owned by Showbiz Pizza, but it's called Chuck E. Cheese. But Showbiz Pizza was the bomb too. Now I'll be honest, the pizza isn't bad at Chuck E. Cheese. It's actually probably better than what it used to be. Not that it's the best pizza in the world, but it's not bad. I could eat it. It's tasty. I don't know what they put in it, but it's pretty good. But other than that, though, what a shame. And there used to be multiple rooms you could go in to watch, like these Beach Boys, except they were dogs that played Beach Boy songs. This lion that played Elvis songs. This hippo that played Aretha Franklin songs. And all these other different animals you'd go in and see, and they'd play different tunes. There was a Michael Jackson one. It's what they turned the lion into. They turned him to Michael Jackson later on just to try to get people in there. But you had different rooms with different performances and stuff that happened every 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so. Those were the good old days. And now, cheap, carny, overpriced stuff, and terrible service, the worst in the world. But hey, those are my top 5. Folks, what are your top 5? What are top 5 places that used to be good, but now are not? Let me know in the comments below. Next week, I promise, if I can get him, I don't know. He's a busy guy too, but I was this week. It was my fault this week, but we'll see next week if it's Mikey's fault he's not here, and we'll come up with some great ones for you on Saturday Morning Samoflange.